I am a natural bodybuilder, but I'm going into a non-tested show, so the odds are not exactly stacked in my favor.
I just want to stop and go home, but I can't.
I have not felt full in weeks.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Jacked and Pilled. I'm your host, the Natty Crusader, John Collins. I'm exactly 7 days out from the July 19th Phoenix Iron Games, my first ever bodybuilding show. I am a natural bodybuilder, but I'm going into a non-tested show, so the odds are not exactly stacked in my favor. Not only am I 7 days out, this is my final leg day before the show. It's crazy to think that the next time I am hitting legs after today, I will already have been on stage and competed at the Phoenix Iron Games. As I talked about in my last video, these workouts over the last couple weeks are a little bit shorter. The volume has dropped down a little bit because we're trying to reduce a little bit of fatigue as we get closer to the show. But even with the workouts being shorter, they still suck more than any of the other workouts have up to this point. And I always fool myself going into these workouts. I'll think, you know what, this is going to be short, sweet, and easy. And that's not the case. Not at all. I think the only easier workouts that are going to happen are the last like one or two before the show, where they're more so pump workouts, they're called. We're not quite there yet, but we will be. It is Saturday right now. My show is going to be next Saturday. After today, I have a rest day, and then I have 3 more lifts. So I will be done lifting by Wednesday. Then I'll have a cardio day after that. I'll have a massage day after that. My hope, and you can tell me if this is wishful thinking, but my hope is that after this leg workout, it's cruising. But that might not be the case, because I'm sure things are going to get harder. I've been told that I'm going to have a refeed right before my show, which I am looking forward to. It's, I'm sure, not going to be anything crazy. When I hear the word refeed, I think of In-N-Out Burger and all the fun foods you could possibly imagine. By refeed, we're probably talking about like honey on a rice cake or something like that. But hey, I'm sure that's going to taste pretty damn good when the time comes. As challenging and as terrible as cutting is sometimes, the flip side of it is that you do enjoy food a lot more. Because mid-bulk, I was eating Pop-Tarts and whatnot, which in hindsight was a mistake. But back when I was in the midst of that bulk and I was 50 pounds heavier, I took food for granted. There would be foods that I would have on a regular basis and I would eat out for cheat meals and stuff, and I was just so used to taking in that tasty food that after a while it stopped being so tasty. Where nowadays I can take my little half cap of L-carnitine in the morning and it tastes like heaven. It's the weirdest thing. I can have my black coffee and put my sugar-free like chocolate sweetener mix in there and it tastes like heaven. I can have my pre-workout Gorilla Mind, by the way, great stuff, the blueberry flavor, gas. It tastes like heaven. And I probably wouldn't have been saying that before this cutting season.
Now here's a machine I never thought I'd see myself doing. I've used this for adductors before, but I've never used it for abductors. Here's the truth. You could look at this machine and say, oh, this machine's for ladies. Everybody needs to be caked up. If you're going into a bodybuilding show, no matter what gender you are, no matter what category you're going into, you gotta have some cake on you, brother. Unless you're doing men's physique, then I think they're a little more lenient, but even then, is anybody gonna lose points for being caked up? Is anybody gonna lose points for being a thick bitch? You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm not gonna lie, in my entire 10 years going to the gym, sometimes I look at ladies who are on this machine and have their hands right here, and I'd be like, that is ridiculous, and it's just like calling for attention. But I'm doing the set just now, I'm going through my warm-ups, and I'm like, damn, that's actually very, very helpful to make sure my glutes are engaged. So I'll admit to all of you guys, I was wrong, and this whole maneuver as you're going through the movement does help quite a bit for mind to muscle connection. Man, I'm only 3 exercises in and I am already dragging ass. Like, I just want to stop. I just want to stop and go home, but I can't because I just have a few more sets left. Today basically so far has been a glute day, and I never train glutes like I do right now, so just those 4 sets on the abductor machine behind me is like totally wiped me. You know, I'm doing RDLs, which is predominantly for hamstrings purposes, but just because my glutes are so fatigued, that's almost all I'm feeling right now. It is what it is, and I have a set to do. Is this thing on? Can you hear me?
Every single day of the prep has been harder than the last one. I'm thinking about how everything was going today, and it was just rough. I've never felt as hungry and tempted to binge on some food as I have been tonight. It got to the point where I had to call my girlfriend just to vent about how I was feeling and how hungry I am, which, sorry, Maria, for having to sit through that conversation. It probably sounds dumb, and that's because it is. I have not felt full in weeks. I'm trying to remember what it was like. I will have some meals here and there that satiate me. Something like this, which is going to be part of my medium carb day tomorrow, will hold me over. It's not going to keep me full by any means. Breakfast is not going to keep me full. This other meal, dinner, and then I have like a pre-workout snack. It's protein powder, and then it's 95 grams of strawberries, which is 3 strawberries. It's just so dumb. Explaining what I'm doing to anybody else, it would just sound so stupid. It's like you're limiting yourself to 3 strawberries. Why would you do that? Do you feel like you really have a healthy relationship with food? No, I don't at this point. When I started this cut back in February, when I was like 50 pounds heavier, I was kind of coasting for a while. My workouts still felt good for a while. Mentally, I felt good. I wasn't hungry all the time. That lasted for the first probably 2 or 3 months. After that is when things like slowly started compounding and just getting more and more difficult. Whereas now, 6 days out from the show, I feel like shit and I am so hungry. And there's literally nothing I can do about it. 6 days feels like so much right now. It's Sunday. The show was going to be Saturday next week. And it's just like, how the fuck am I going to make it if every day is going to feel like this? I already mentioned the workouts that I'm doing are lower volume. There's a lot less that I'm doing in these workouts, yet they still feel so tough. And I got 3 more of them. It's just tough. I really hate to and be negative right now. It's just really kind of getting to me tonight, and talking about it does make me feel a little bit better. And then what I'm doing after the show was going to be a mystery too. I was initially supposed to be doing a show in October. That one was supposed to be a natural tested show, whereas the one coming up this Saturday is not a tested show. But at this point, I don't know if I can do preps back to back, and I don't even know if I should. I went to a posing clinic today, which was awesome. It was very informative and I learned a lot, but I was talking with one of the judges, and one of the things he had highlighted was like how my arms are lacking. My arms are definitely a weak point in my body, and I knew that. But then again, hearing that from some of the people that are actually judging these shows, it's kind of a wake-up call. And it's like, well, do I really want to put myself through another few month prep, and then at the same time I'm not going to build anything or grow during this maintenance into another prep? Would it make more sense to just start the bulk right after the show on Saturday, and then I'll do a different natural show next year when I'm a little more developed and a little bit better equipped to perform well in the show? I genuinely don't know. And then I'm trying to think, is it me just bitching out because I'm so hungry right now and I should do the October show? Or is it just a matter of logic, thinking, you know what, now's probably a good time to grow and I'll attack it next year and do really well? My brain doesn't work as fast as it usually does. A lot of the days I'm cognitively slower and I don't feel like I'm as productive as I historically have been. And when it comes to content creation, I feel like I've noticed this too. When I'm filming my short form videos or when I'm filming these, something about it is just more taxing. I have to really think about what I'm saying to make sure it flows and make sure that it moves fast enough and make sure it's not just word salad garbage that nobody wants to watch. This stuff used to flow really naturally, but it's like not a whole lot is flowing. It's like there's a leak in the pipe somewhere because my thoughts are just like they're barely coming through. The pressure is low right now. That's not to say like a blood vessel is leaking, or that would be catastrophic. That would be horrible, and that's not what I'm saying. It's just metaphor, whatever. I almost forgot to talk about that leg day I just did too. Very glute focused. My ass is sore. I never trained glutes directly that often, but I really feel it. That sucks. I prefer a man's leg day. I've never really experienced like this intense of a glute soreness before. But anyway, that's gonna be enough whining from me tonight. Thank you guys very much for watching this video. You guys are gonna see me again a couple times before the show, but I've been the Natty Crusader, John Collins. Thanks for joining me for another leg day, and I'll see you next time.